So it's not that you can't smooch to go, but when they're green, they don't even know where their feet are. So it's pretty hard. I just cluck to them to say, hey, get moving. All right? And I might cluck multiple times, whatever it takes to get them going. As we develop along and they're following their nose, then I start applying inside leg on the horse. Before the inside leg comes, they can actually start stepping sideways like that. See how she steps sideways when you pull? That's what they can do and will do. So what I like to do then to stop that sideways crossing over their leg, their feet, because I want them to carry on walking, because walking is striding forward, is striding out, okay? Then I will add that inside leg and make them learn how to walk around the aid, around that inside aid. So I still bring them with their nose in direct rein, but then put a little bit of leg on. Now, I mean a little bit of leg. Every horse is a little bit different in the sensitivity, but don't put so much leg on that you scare them, okay? Because they will run off away from you, which means they'll run out in front of your leg aid. And that's never a good thing. So, and you don't want to teach them a bad habit. So you always want a horse with you on your aid, on your leg, including your hand. They must be on your hand, with your hand, okay? So you keep applying a little more pressure through the rides. It's not all done in one ride. It might be 10 rides later, if your rides are maybe, I don't know, half an hour, we'll just say. 20 minutes, it all depends. But you have to take your time doing this and build up to the point where the horse will comfortably walk out around your leg and it feels like it's still walking forward, okay, and not crossing. All right, so that's all direct rein. And again, figure eights, and then sometimes I will go around and just make a little circle and just hold your hand there. Don't get fancy with your hand. Don't be banging the horse around, because the more you bang on him, and I'm just going to push her out. This one here tends to want to fall in on that leg, so I'm just going to push her out a little bit. There we go. Good girl. Come on. So you don't want to be bumping and jerking and all that kind of stuff on green horses, because you don't want to spoil the event that you're having with them. You know, you want everything all cool and relaxed. A nice atmosphere, because remember, you got to get back up on that horse again, and you don't want the horse nervous before you get on it, because a lot of cases that can happen. So here we are, adding to the leg, making our small little circles, still getting her to walk forward, and they learn how to bend around your leg besides walk around it. Okay? And if they're a little bit stiff in the beginning, you're not going to fuss too much about that, because they're still trying to figure out what your leg means, okay? Because they're a little bit nervous about the whole thing. Walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on. So when they slow down, like then, I just said, hey, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. And I just use the term walk on. And I just repeat it till I feel the muscle tone go free and the horse want to walk forward. Because what brought me to say that was when the muscle tone started to stiffen up and slow down. And instead of applying more leg, I asked for it verbally as my cue to move her forward. Okay? So yes, I could have clucked, but sometimes I choose not to, because I'm not necessarily wanting the horse to think more speed, because sometimes they can get thinking like that. So I could cluck and move them, but if you train them in the round pen with walk on, okay, then they understand what it is. I don't know. I like to mix things up a little bit and not get stuck on any one thing, because I don't know where the horses are going to, because I don't know how educated the people are. So I like to have it so the horses are kind of used to a lot of different versions of what we are as people. I can't do it all, because there's too many versions, but I try to make it so the horses kind of understand, and then tell the people, you know, how I trained the horse or what's on them, and so they get a bit of an understanding of what's going on. So now we get to, after say, I don't know, 30 rides on a horse, now we kind of get to a horse that's got some understanding about the inside leg. Hopefully it's not running away from your leg. We can start adding more outside aid on that animal. It's not to say that you haven't done it inside 30 rides. I have a tendency, like I always move the box around. So I'm always teaching the horse by sliding that rein on him while giving some direction through my direct rein, okay, as to what I want the outside of the body of the horse to do. I want it to go away from that rein. Good girl. And if they do it and take that step, walk on. If they do that, I always give them a little reward with a pet, you know, just to say, hey, thank you. So what you want is you want to apply your inside leg to your outside hand. To reinforce your outside hand, you're going to use some outside leg. So it's rein, leg in this particular case. You're either going rein to leg or you're going leg to rein. All depends on what's going on. And your aids are always talking to each other to keep a balance. So my inside aid is always talking to my outside aid, and my outside aid's always talking to my inside aid. Because when you ride, the horse needs to ride right underneath your spine, right underneath, or underneath your ass, however you want to say it, but under your seat, okay? So the horse does not lean one way or another. Some horses get into a thing where they lean to turn. Well, we walk on. We don't want that. So we want to teach these horses to stand up when they come around. Okay? Meaning that when you ask them to turn, that they stay upright. So here I'm applying the same thing with my aid. So inside aid to outside hand. All right? Now my inside leg is getting some help with the direct rein, and my outside hand is getting help with my outside leg aid to complete the turn. When I go straight, the horse to stay right between the reins and my leg.